Hi Felicities, this is Jan Victor and you're tuned back into the channel with no name. Today I am doing another video following my bag collection video, which goes into different reviews of the different pieces I have. And I'm going to be talking today about my Longchamp Le Pliage Neo in the color khaki with silver hardware. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this bag is because it's going to be close to a year since I purchased it. And also, I wanted to talk a little bit about why it's the ultimate tote and the most bang for your buck, and why personally I probably wouldn't spend on high-end totes, and I would stick to Longchamp as one of my most used and also favorite brands. And so we'll just get started. There's no like or whatever. That's like a reference to Men on Bags. If you don't know them, check them out. And so I'm gonna talk about this bag today, and it's actually, I know it's kind of like a little bit like wrinkled. This is actually one of my most used bags, and basically I literally used it. I'm gonna pull up the receipt because I found it to figure out how long it's been. I bought this in December 23rd of 2015, so it's gonna be close to a year since I bought it, and at the time it was going for $185, and with tax it totaled up to $199.80. So this bag was just under $200, and I think it's really a great price for what you pay and how much use I personally have gotten out of it. I bought it at the South Coast Plaza Longchamp boutique in Costa Mesa, and I definitely recommend, if you're gonna buy a Longchamp bag, go to the boutique unless there's like sales going on at like Nordstrom's or Bloomingdale's, because the sales associate at the Longchamp boutique are very knowledgeable and they're super nice, and Longchamp is actually one of my most favorite brands. If you don't know, this is the Neo. This is from the Neo collection, so it doesn't feature the brown handles, but it features the kind of like, so this is the color khaki, and so the handles are paired with the color of the nylon. It has a zipper right here on the top. Y'all should all know this by now. And so it just closes like so, and it has this like kind of I guess cover, and you can button it. And then it has the cute little, I really like their logo. I don't know if you can see it, it's like a horse. And this is actually the second thing I purchased from Longchamp. The first one was Longchamp Saint Honoré 404 bag, but I think this is probably my most used bag for work, for travel, for everyday use, for shopping when I go to like the grocery store and pick up like, I don't know, like soy milk, coconut milk, bananas, yogurt. You can actually use this as a tote to go shopping, and it's very durable. So what's great about the Neo collection as compared to the Heritage collection is that the nylon actually feels so much more substantial, and I do love the pairing, you know, the like matching handle to the nylon. But I feel like this was a more durable version of the Heritage collection, and I would go for the Neo collection rather than the Heritage, because not only do they have great colors, but I feel like this is harder wearing. There's a bunch of scuffs all over, but it's because I throw this bag everywhere. I throw this on the floor, on sand, in grass, and it's because the way I think of a tote is it could be used anywhere, and it should be able to withstand a lot of different weathers. If you know the interior, it comes with one pocket right here. So I usually put like importance or like things I need to grab really quickly, and then just a big black hole. It's actually not filled up, but I usually fill this bag to the brim, and it's like, it conforms to the shape. I don't think you should get a base shaper for this bag, just because I think you should allow it to mold to like all the different stuff you have. I usually put my like laptop, which is a MacBook 13-inch Pro, with a cover, and while it does get a little heavy, it's actually not too bad. And I wear it shoulder strap, crook of the arm, and I also wear it top handle. And I do close it a lot, but my favorite way to have it closed is just with this top cover. I think this is just such a great feature, and it makes it easy, since sometimes you just want to grab like a bunch of different stuff and you don't need to grab your laptop, but you want it to be secure. So I think this is a great piece for the price that you pay, and its durability. it can withstand a lot of different like scuffs, and you just actually, I have to just clean it, but I'm like, it's gonna get dirty again, it's cool, I don't need to. The handles are super comfortable, so I actually don't mind them, and even when it's really heavy on the crook of the arm and on the shoulder, it doesn't feel too bad. And my favorite way actually to hold it is top handle, since I think there's something very like Parisian chic about it, and it's just, what's great about Longchamp is it's such an underappreciated and underrated brand, but yeah, all these bags are made in France. It's very stylish, it's functional, like I can use this across different, you know, across different weathers, for different occasions, not formal obviously, but these bags are gonna get used, and a lot of people know what Longchamp is because they know this classic silhouette, and this tote look is probably, I think, the best way a tote has been made. Like, just very like mushy, but it can conform. I know back then I used to like, this is kind of like, you can like, it doesn't come off as pretty right now, but you can even like tuck it in and it still works, like, but I love that it really molds to however you want it to be, and yet it's still safe because it is zipper and this little cover thingy. I really need to find out what the name for this is. And yeah, it's very hard wearing, so I'm very carefree with it, and that's why it has a lot of scuffs, but I don't mind. That's the whole point of a tote, is to be able to be carefree with it. So I definitely recommend this as the ultimate tote. In terms of price, in terms of durability, in terms of it being a designer, like a good entry-level designer, but also in terms of just how much wear I've gotten from this. I bought it in December 23rd, and between then to now, I probably worn this bag almost every day across so many different situations, and it just gets so many compliments because the color is unique, the style is iconic, you know, like the silhouette, and it's just really functional. Like, I'm gonna use this bag for so many different occasions. So I personally would invest in the Longchamp Le Pliage. It's not a higher end brand like Louis Vuitton's Goyard or Chanel or all the other different high-end brands, but I think this is gonna give you the most bang for your buck. And the reason why I mentioned those three is because they have three very iconic totes. You have the Louis Vuitton Neverfull, the Goyard Saint Louis, and the Chanel GST. All of them set you back a pretty penny. I think the Louis Vuitton is probably the most affordable, and even then it's still pretty expensive. If you get the size, it's about $1,300. I actually have it on my phone, so I'm gonna just show you the bag so you can kind of like know what I'm talking about. But this is the bag. Everybody knows this is actually between the three, the Neverfull, the Saint Louis, and GST. I would probably get the Neverfull, but not pay full price, because that's absurd to pay that much for a tote that I kind of want to be carefree about. What's great with the Neverfull is it does come in a variety of different colors and leathers, and it can withstand a lot of weight, like I think in Vintage Heirlooms video they said it can withstand 200 pounds, and people have never complained about the handles cracking, and it's a really great useful bag to add into your collection, but at that price point you're really paying because it's a Louis Vuitton bag. That's just my kind of personal opinion, and on reviewing these three, I've never had these bags, but I played with it. I played with my friends and I'm like, no, I am good with my Le Pliage. So definitely I recommend, if you are gonna if you're gonna buy like a higher end bag, I think the Louis Vuitton Neverfull is the way to go. And there's a lot of different leathers, and if you want like carefree leather, the Damier Ebene will probably be your best bet, or the Epi, but that's gonna cost a little more. The next one I want to talk about that I think I would never purchase, especially after watching so many videos and feeling it. What you're paying for with this bag is because it is Goyard and the chevron. That's how the bag looks. One of the colors, that's a classic color, and in store, if you go to a boutique, it's $1,200 before tax. But if you try to buy it pre-loved or in the consignment store, because they're so hard to get, the specific colors, you could pay as close to $1,500 to $2,000. And the big thing about it is the Goyard Saint Louis can't really accommodate for a lot of weight. And so they've talked about how the sealant and the leather handles, it starts to crack and kind of like chip away. And if I'm gonna put my laptop in my bag like the way I do with my Le Pliage, I don't want to spend over $1,000 or more and have the handles crack. So that's like my big issue with the Goyard, is that's an issue. I feel like the quality in terms of the canvas and the leather, like, you can't really fit heavy things into St. Louis. It's more like something that I'm holding this bag with nothing in it because it's Goyard. Like, no shade to Goyard. Goyard, the history and just the heritage of their trunks and the travel is amazing. And yet at the same time with the St. Louis, while it's an iconic look, it's kind of like, I don't know what I'm paying for, what quality I'm paying for. And then finally with the Chanel GST, which I'm gonna pull up, it is actually a discontinued brand, so some of the pictures I'm showing is like right from Fashionphile, just because it's kind of the only place I can pull it out, and that's how it looks. It looks really gorgeous, but you're paying maybe like close to $3,000, if not more, for whether it's caviar, lambskin, or patent. For a work tote, it's already a heavy bag. I believe a lot of folks have said, and I felt it, like I've tried it, the shoulder kind of digs into the straps kind of dig into your shoulder, and it's already really heavy. So when you put your laptop or anything like of weight, it's gonna feel clunky, versus like when I think of the Neo Le Pliage bag, it's just already, it's like lightweight, and the weight is whatever you put. So you're like, I know that this is how much it's gonna weigh, versus I have to think of the weight of the bag and then the stuff that I want to put. And it's not carefree. The Chanel bag, you have to be a little bit more worried, like, you know, take care of it unless you get the caviar. And even so, it'll still show wear, and that's a tote. Like, that's a $3,000 tote. So I think if you want something that's cost effective, you're gonna get a lot of wear. It's still a designer, it's not high-end, but yet it's still like a designer with history, looks chic, and it actually looks more expensive than what you paid for. I think that the Longchamp Le Pliage Neo is the best bet. Y'all can have your own opinions. You know, a lot of people will say like, oh, stop throwing shade on the Neverfull, but at certain price points, I think for a tote, we want it to be like on the more affordable end, because I'm gonna toss it, I'm gonna throw it and have it go everywhere, and I want to be carefree about it. So let me know what you think. If you would, I know there's a lot of things about Neverfull, the St. Louis, and the GST. What are your thoughts on those bags? Would you invest in those bags at the price point? And if you have a Longchamp Le Pliage Neo, or even the Heritage Collection, let me know why you think it's a great bag, or why you would invest in a higher end bag. The whole point of this is to have a conversation, and personally, I'm a big fan of Longchamp and the Le Pliage Neo, and I'm actually gonna get another one in the future because it's such a great price and such a useful, functional bag. If you like this video, thumbs up or whatever, comment below, and also subscribe if you want to see more of these reviews. I actually have a bunch of different stuff coming up, and I'm about to hit my year mark, so I might be doing something special then. But yeah, let me know, shoot me a message. Also check out my Instagram, Fierce Renegade, because you can actually see kind of like some of the outfits of the day, my workout stuff, and also my bag, like the bags I use for the day, and how I use my bags, how I stuff it, and food. So yeah, check me out, comment below, and hopefully I'll see y'all soon. Bye, Felicities!